Welcome into That's Boxing Podcast, part two of this remote episode. Ran out of time on our Zooms for the last one, so we thought we'd break it up, give you guys two for the price of one.
That's right. We're
Let's
back.
We're back. Let's get in to the fights this weekend. We got two good cards. We got a DAZN card Saturday morning, and we've got, of course, the fight everyone's been waiting their entire lives to see: Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson for free Saturday night on Netflix.
No, that's Friday night.
Oh, Friday night. You know what's so weird? I thought it was Friday, and I'm looking at the literal like promo poster, and it says Saturday, July 20th.
Oh, you're looking at the old one.
I guess so. They still got the
Oh,
old
wow.
one. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure this is Friday night. Yeah, Friday, November 15th. Well, I just want to tee this up to you. Jake Paul is fighting Mike Tyson, 8 rounds, 2-minute rounds, 16-ounce gloves, no headgear, professionally sanctioned, going on the record. What we can't even break this down like a real fight. So just explain to me what is happening to the world.
Dude, I have no idea, man. I've been saying all year that this wasn't going to happen, that this was not going to happen, that it was just a big publicity stunt, that it was just a big show. And then when it got canceled, I felt vindicated in that belief. But now that it appears that it is actually happening, I have to come to terms with the fact that the world is broken and we're living in a simulation that I would like to press the reset button on and go back to the
Mhm.
normal world because this is a lose-lose fight for everyone involved, the fans, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul himself. I don't see how anybody wins in this. Uh, but it's definitely got the boxing world and the general media talking a lot. And anytime you bring up Mike Tyson, it's going to be a conversation. So I've been around the gyms, around town. I was in a gym last night. I heard Tyson. And it was interesting. Everybody has a different take on what's going to happen.
Mhm.
There's no consensus on what's going to happen.
Okay. Well, I'm with you as well. I mean, I literally hear chatter, Tyson, Tyson. I got friends that won't come watch boxing at my house that are texting me, "Hey, are you watching the Tyson fight?" So I'm going to play devil's advocate and say there's only one way that this results in a win for boxing in general. And that is if Iron Mike goes out there and in 45 seconds knocks Jake Paul unconscious, which is, first of all, not going to happen. Second of all, the reason that's a win is first of all, it asserts the dominance and the legacy of one of the most enigmatic, polarizing, exciting fighters ever, whose fame and command and notoriety extends beyond his accomplishments in the sport. He's that transcendent a figure. But two, it cements, yeah, this is a sport. It's a real sport. It's not to be taken lightly. And people who are better at the sport, even when they're however old he is, pushing 60, are still that much better at it than you are. I think anything short of that is a lose for all the reasons you said. What and this is where I throw cold water on everybody that's whispering Tyson. I say, dude, this fight's gonna be boring. I hope it's not, but it's going to be boring, man. It's one dude who's old, one dude who isn't conditioned and is now has a free reign to weigh as much as he wants with big pillow gloves and short rounds. It's going to be over before you know it, and nothing's going to happen. That's what I think.
But I already put my big dollar bill down on the draw because now that it is actually happening, I still don't believe that it's like legitimate. And I
Hmm.
think that's the most likely outcome is that it's going to be a draw because I agree. If there is no freak knockout that comes quick and early and nasty, it's going to be a, a boring, sweaty, old, slow sweat fest, you know? And if Tyson can bust a few moves here and there to keep himself in the fight, but Jake Paul isn't gonna he's not gonna further his career either way. You beat an old guy. If he wins, you beat an old guy. If he loses, you lost to an old guy. Tyson, if he wins, you beat a fucking clown. You had to do that. If you lose, holy shit, you lost to the clown. Like there's really no value in this except for their financial, reward. But no, there's no true sporting value in this shit, you know?
Well, that's about a $60 million. I can think of 60 million reasons to do this fight.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a shame, dude. It's so weird. But like I said, there's no general consensus on the outcome. I heard Tyson's gonna knock him out. I said, okay. Then I hear this other guy saying, oh man, I'm afraid Mike's gonna get knocked out. And I love Tyson, but I'm afraid he's gonna get knocked out. And I'm over here saying it's gonna be a draw. But I haven't heard anybody say yet that it's gonna be just boring. And I think that's a great take. I think just a boring exhibition level, you know, tough man brawl with because he's 58 years old, man. This just shouldn't even be happening.
I mean, Jake, for all of his worthlessness, has got a right hand. He's a big dude. He's a strong dude. He's athletic. He throws the right hand. He's got that big chopper that he looks ugly as hell, but it's gotten people out of there. And, is it beyond the realm of possibility that he hits Mike with it? And, he's an older dude and he can't take it. Like, yeah, that could happen. I don't see it though. And that's the only path I see to the fight being exciting.
I don't want to see that. I mean,
I
that's
don't want
well,
to see that either.
no.
Uh,
Well, Tyson is so beloved that if he does go down in this fight, whether it be a clean KO or some kind of TKO, then it's not going to ruin his stock in the eyes of the public. We'll feel bad for him. There'll be a hurt for him, but nobody's going to be, hating on him. We'll just be like, man, that sucks. You had to do that. Sucks that you had to do that to get that money.
yeah.
But it's not going to go, it's not going to go down in history as some amazing event because of his age, because of he's obviously diminished. So it just shouldn't be happening. And I really hope that it's going to come out as a draw and we can just move on. But on the card, there's so much other good boxing that I'm going to watch it. And then when it comes to the main event, I'm just going to keep watching, kind of maybe squinting, looking halfway the other way.
I will say, if Jake Paul gets the win somehow, I need an immediate rematch but instead of Tyson, it's Mayweather. And I need the two villains to go in there and Mayweather to absolutely shut this dude down and embarrass him and make him look like an idiot, just to restore my personal sanity.
Mayweather already got in there and did an exhibition with the brother?
I know, and he made him look like an idiot, and he'll do it
Sure
again.
did. Sure did. But these two brothers now are going to be able to walk around the world and be like, I fought. I think that's why he's doing it. Because his brother can say, well, I fought Floyd Mayweather. So he's going to say, I got to one up my brother. I fought Mike Tyson.
Yeah. The thing they don't realize is that literally anybody with the opportunity can fight Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather. It's winning or being competitive that's the impressive part. But
Yes.
put me in there in the ring with anybody you want, I'm gonna lose. I don't get to claim it as an accolade.
Yeah. Such a fucking bizarro clown world event. It sucks when the sport I love so much and I've given so much of my life to is becomes this spectacle. Like I feel like a hipster. Like, oh, I knew about Tyson before he was on Netflix. Like I've
Yeah.
been part of this for a long time, and I don't want to share that with the clown world. I don't like to see the big top over the boxing ring. But this is perfect for Vegas. It's perfect for the spectacle. I mean, if you're walking down the boardwalk and they say, "Oh, there's an open workout for some boxing match this weekend," and like Susie Pancake from Michigan looks over and says, "Oh my God, it's Jake Paul and Mike Tyson." They're gonna run over there and watch it. Now, if they're walking down the sidewalk and say, "Oh, it's a boxing event," they're doing an open workout. Who is it? Oh, it's Yordenis Ugas versus fucking Keith Thurman. They'd be like, "Okay, let's go over to the fucking go get some margaritas down the road." You
Right.
know
Yeah.
the name power is so powerful and there's so much draw here that 90% of the people watching this aren't not watching it for a sporting event anyways. They're watching it for the spectacle, and that's what it's going to be.
Yep. And if they turn it on a little bit too early and they see Katie Taylor and the Amanda Serrano and they fall in love 2% with boxing, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's going to be a great fight. Taylor's had 3 good fights since they fought. Serrano's had 5 fights since they fought, and I think the edge is for Serrano on this one. I think Taylor's showing some wear and tear. She had a tough loss to Cameron Chantel, uh, who she redeemed the loss to, but still, those were rough and rugged fights. And here she is going in again with one of the tougher fights she ever had. So we're looking for a cleaner performance. I'd like to see, but honestly, I think a fight's going to break out and it's going to look a lot like their first match. And it's going to be a barn burner. Sure.
I agree, and I think that favors Serrano as it did in the first fight. I was one of the people that thought Serrano won the first fight, and I think she wins this fight, and I think she gets the stoppage. I think if a fight breaks out, she has what it takes to end it, and she almost, if she'd had another 30 seconds in that whatever it was round in the middle mid of that fight, I think she would have walked away with the stoppage. And I'm thinking she finds a way in this one. But either way, great fight, phenomenal rematch. Really glad that they put this, effectively as the co-headline.
Yeah, it definitely legitimizes the event, and hopefully the people that tune in can see something nice. On the other card too, we got Mario Barrios versus Abel Ramos. That should be a nice fight too. Barrios has made some great moves since he moved up in weight and got that vacant title. So looking for him to take care of some business. I'm favoring him in that fight for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And great big stage for him to perform on. I mean, they're fighting at like is that the biggest football stadium there is? Is that the biggest one? The Cowboy?
Professional AT&T Stadium. It's pretty big. I mean, I think the big house like Michigan college football, I think holds more. But
Mm.
let's see, AT&T Stadium capacity, 80,000. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a big show.
Yeah, that's a lot. Um, my boy Shushu Carrington got relegated to the prelims starting at noon or whatever. But I was glad to see him added to the card, fighting Dana Coolwell, kind of I think a foot off the gas fight, given how much he's struggled with Sagawa in the last fight. But this guy's been around, never been stopped. Lost two split decisions, kind of on a bit of a win streak. And I think good to see him back so soon and getting to fight in front of, well, there'll probably only be about 500 people there at that time, but exposure.
Yeah, there's a IBO Intercontinental belt on the line for that matchup, and that Coolwell took off or got in a vacant match a fight or two ago. So this looks like a belt grab for me, for Carrington. They see easy pickings and give him a big showcase fight on this big stage. It's a
Mm-hmm.
bummer higher up in the performance. I see they got a couple influencer fighters on there. I was watching one of their little YouTube things about this, and they got this guy. He's debuting against a guy who's like 15-4. Like, holy shit!
Who is
This
that?
what this?
Oh, is that
Wow,
is that Niraj Goyat?
Goyat's the guy with the record, 15
Right,
and something. The
right.
other guy is a debuter.
That's crazy.
That's fucking criminal, man. Whoever's fucking sanctioning this, I guess Texas just lets it rip. You're not allowed to smoke weed in box, but man, they'll let old guys fight young dudes, and they'll let debuters fight guys with over 16 fights.
Dude, so Goyat went 12 rounds with Jose Zepeda, and he's getting in there with this guy who's pro debuting. Let's see, all bouts. No,
Yeah.
he's won according to BoxRec. This is sanctioned. I don't. Maybe there's something we don't know, but he's got one amateur fight lost, unanimous decision, 4 rounds. That's wild.
So he's and Goya, he fought Zepeda. That's 135 pounds. This is a super middleweight match. This is 168 pounds. So this is bizarro world bullshit. Should not be happening.
Yeah, this is crazy. Is this a different Zepeda that he fought? It's a different Zepeda. I was like, there's no way this is the same Zepeda. Um, yeah, this guy, they fought at 146. This guy's 38-5. Oh, I know this guy. He's a American southpaw. Regardless, you've got a, relatively seasoned boxer here going in to fight this YouTuber. But okay, hey, fighting a boxer, you can't give him the Jake Paul
Well,
criticism.
that better not be higher up on the bill than Shushu Carrington
Oh, it's
or
way
Mario Barrio.
higher, much higher. It's not higher than Barrios. It's higher than Shushu though.
Oh, that's a shame.
That's why I say they did my guy dirty. But let's go over to the Saturday daytime card on the zone from the Kingdom. Also a pretty good fight. Oscar Duarte making his return after getting shoulder roll KO'd by King Ryan.
He's fought since. He fought in one. He had a get back fight. Yeah. And he looked good doing it too. He's a decent boxer. He just struggled with the pressure of that King Ryan fight, as anybody would. That guy's a fucking maniac.
Yeah, I will say this is a tangent, but I was, sometimes I just throw on random fights, and I threw on Haney Garcia again just to kind of rewatch it with clear eyes. And any shit I ever talked about Devin Haney, I take it all back right now. I absolve myself of, I will just delete it off the internet. He won that fight. He beats him in the rematch. Devin Haney all day.
Wow. Okay. All
Run it
right.
back,
Well,
run it back. Ryan looks good for about 2 minutes. It's just in 30-second bouts. You know what I mean? 30 seconds in the first round, 30 seconds in the fifth round. That's it. And he looked really
yeah.
good. Looked great in those because he dropped him a couple times. But Devin dominates like round after round, puts together like a whole fight in there, you know?
And survives those knockdowns, to make it to the final bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't rewatched it, but I'm glad you did, so you could tell me about it because I don't think I'm going to.
So it's a very weird fight to watch because it's a fight that never happened technically. So
Oh, yes.
it's been
You know.
expunged like the Men in Black little pencil thing. Up on this card, we were talking last episode, sneaky good fight, Tevin Farmer versus William Zepeda. I love this fight. I think this is fascinating.
Yeah, this is going to be great. If in fact we are going to see Zepeda Stevenson, then this is going to give us a preview of how how good the footwork is. We talk about all the time how important footwork is to get you in position to land punches. If you're a volume puncher without feet, you're going to struggle. So we'll see if Farmer can frustrate Zepeda with his movement and his slickness, or if Zepeda can just swarm, overwhelm, and just deny that slickness with just a barrage of combination punches. I think that's probably the more likely case. Zepeda is going to wear him out pretty early too.
So you see kind of a TKO victory for Zepeda in this one?
Yeah, I hate to say it. It seems that Farmer's on the slide a little bit, and he's been losing a couple fights. He's been struggling a little bit, and he gets hit later in fights. He gets touched up pretty clean because it's hard to be Mr. Perfect all night long. So yeah, maybe a late fight TKO there for Zepeda.
Yeah, I mean, it's been the Raymond Murataya show, right? He's steamrolling people, knocking people out. We saw him just a few days ago, absolutely, demolish Jesus Campos in the second round. But he gets in there with Tevin Farmer, and it goes the distance. And he lost the unanimous decision. Farmer did, but I thought Farmer looked better than some of the judges gave him credit for. Obviously, anytime you're sticking and moving and being defensive, not everybody's going to see that as dominant. But I was impressed with his performance. And Zepeda is definitely not the power puncher that Murataya is, but he's the volume puncher. And you're right. I don't know. It's a question of if Farmer can make him fight his fight and frustrate him, and he can struggle to cut the ring off, and if he can do that for all, what is it, 10 rounder?
Yeah, well, he might not be a knockout one punch knockout puncher, Zepeda, but he's a smart puncher. He goes to the body. Remember, he put Cabrera down with some body punches. So that's what you do to a guy who moves his head a lot. You hit him in the body. So we're looking to see him put some real combinations together, some head and body attacks, and that can really slow down a mover. So we'll see how Farmer reacts to those body punches.
Yeah, I tend to see this. I'm really curious to see where the line is on this before we make our picks at the end of the week. I think you're right. I kind of see, you can just close your eyes and see the Zepeda, the ref jumps in. Holy shit, he's getting hit with too many shots. But if there's no value in that pick, I could kind of see like a split decision win for Farmer if it's like plus 900 or something like that. Um, you
You
know,
just don't fly too close to the sun with these wild bets, man.
hey, I'll stop picking them when they stop hitting.
All right, Dustin. All right.
After that fight, Jose Ramirez versus Arnold Barboza. This is at super lightweight for it's a WBO title eliminator. What do you think about this fight?
Well, this will probably be a real tough workman-like effort from both guys. They're both, I don't know, kind of hanging around, waiting for something big to happen. Barboza's got a name in the sport. He's got value. You want to favor, typically, you're just going to kind of favor the guy you know a little bit more. But I think both these guys have a chance to win this fight. It's probably a pick 'em fight.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel as well. I don't really have a read on their how their style is going to match up, and I don't lean either way in this fight really. So again, kind
Yeah,
of to see the line.
I think it'll be a good action fight. The guys are both there, going to come forward and get to work.
Yep. And then in the headliner, Gilberto Ramirez versus Chris William Smith, 12 rounds. It's for Ramirez's WBA and Smith's cruiserweight titles. So Ramirez, right? He moved up. He lost to Bivol, unanimous decision, a light heavyweight, moved up, and has gotten picked up two decisions, one against Joe Smith Jr., and now kind of picking it up into this fight.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that he ever made the weight that he did. Zerto, he's huge.
He is
Uh,
huge.
he's a big guy. Cruiserweight's a weird division. Ever since Usyk did his phenomenal unification run and moved on, it left a vacuum that's yet to be filled. And I think Zerto is the guy to fill it, and he's on his way to making that happen. Now, this Billiam character, I think he might just be a regional UK guy that they're trying to make something of him. It's his own, they're trying to make these matchroom fighters into something big, and they gotta have somebody for Zerto to fight. So this guy, the only name I recognize on his record is Lawrence Okoli, and he did beat him, and that's fine. And the only loss I see on his record is one that he avenged, which is great for him. But I don't know any of these guys, and maybe it's my fault for not studying the cruiserweight division, but maybe it's their fault for not being fucking entertaining enough. So I think I think Billiam is he cut he's a bleeder. He gets cut a lot. In the short study I did on him today, I found that he's been cut 3 or 4 times substantially in fights. And Zerto, if he can see blood, he's going to get it done. And Billiam might be strong enough to stick around, but I think Zerto's just a little bit better, a little bit bigger, a little bit faster, a little bit meaner.
He's definitely the more experienced boxer. And yeah, Smith's never fought outside the UK, so got that regional, Eddie Hearn Musk on him. Um,
Yes, sir. Got that Hearn on him.
yeah, so I'd favor Ramirez as well. But on all these kind of fights, curious to see where the line is, what the method of victory is, and look forward to kind of agonizing over picks like I do every week for you all.
Well, let's wrap it up with our exciting picks for the weekend because I got to get to the gym. So let's say most likely to hit the canvas this weekend, Friday and Saturday night. Who's
Ooh,
most likely to be on the canvas?
ooh, maybe Dana Coolwell.
Okay, yeah, that's likely.
What do you
That's
think? What do you think?
highly likely. Highly likely to
Ooh,
hit.
maybe Tevin Farmer.
Yeah, I think that might be a little. That might be
Yeah.
likely.
I mean, it almost
Now,
hurts me to say it out loud, but I gotta go Tevin Farmer.
hey, you never know, man. Abdullah Mason touched the canvas twice last weekend, so you never know.
True. True.
You do know. Okay, so what's the snooze fest of the weekend? Which is going to be the most boring and
Easy.
forgettable fight?
Easy. Tyson Paul, no question.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I already forgot about it. It hasn't even happened yet.
Yep.
All right. What's the most likely upset? What would be the biggest upset?
Oh, the biggest upset.
Upset
I
of
don't,
the weekend.
I don't know who's favored. No, no, the line's going to be too even, Taylor Serrano, for that to be a big upset, right? But but I think Serrano gets the win. If so, she's not favored. I think that would be an upset. The biggest upset, man, I don't know. Maybe Smith Ramirez. I think the line's gonna be pretty wide on that, and I could see that going the other way potentially. It's not as much of a gimme fight as people think. What do you think?
I think I think we got to go back to the fucking top of the bill on Friday night and say the biggest upset would honestly. I mean, I would be most upset. Let's not talk about
You're,
betting odds, but let's
if
talk
Jake
about
Paul
my
gets it,
emotions. Let's
okay,
talk about my emotions. Okay, I will be most upset if Jake Paul gets a victory of any kind this weekend. Okay.
that's true. I love that. Biggest upset, biggest emotional impact. Jake Paul walks
Yes.
away with the win.
Yes. Okay. And now final pick for the fun picks. Let's say fight of the weekend. What's the most exciting, best fight that's going to happen this
Oh,
week?
come on, Taylor Serrano. You already know it.
Yeah, you know it, man. The firecrackers are already, man. Fireworks are already going off. All right, dude. Well, that's fucking, man. We got a lot to talk about when you come home, man. I can't wait to get back in the studio and quit having this long distance relationship.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder, but my heart's cold and dead, so it doesn't work.
Yeah, man. Yeah, frozen hard out there in Utah. I saw you see it snowing out there.
Dude, it's snowing. I drove the truck out here. I'm slipping and sliding, having a blast. But yeah, we'll get back in the studio and run up some better episodes. Until then, I'm Dust,
I'm Coach.
and that's boxing.
That's boxing.
Peace.